Today, 2nd of December 2025. Good evening, my name is Precious Amos, and you're welcome to News at 7 with Capacity Media Trust Radio. I'll be bringing you updates from around the world and across our communities. Let's begin with today's headlines. Christian worshippers from within Kotangora Diocese have called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ensure safe return of abductees. Kogi State government has confirmed early Sunday morning attack on Cherubim and Seraphim Church in Ejiba. Israeli Prime Minister has submitted a pardon request over his corruption charges. Now the news in full. Christian worshippers from within Kotangora Diocese on Sunday have called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to act fast for the safe return of the abducted children and teachers of St. Mary's Private Catholic School in Papiri, Agora local government area of Niger State, who are still held in captivity. Some of the worshippers, a retired teacher, Madam Cecilia Audi, Tina Okeke, a provincial Catholic women president, and Mrs. Elizabeth Oti, spoke with the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Niger State Chapter's media aide, Daniel Atori, after the Sunday Mass. They called on President Tinubu and the former governor, Mohammed Umaru Bago, to act fast and ensure the safe return of the children, like they did for those in Kebbi State. The respondents also charged women in the state and Nigeria at large to join in the prayers for call for urgent release of those in captivity. In a sermon to mark the first Sunday of Advent at the St. Michael's Catholic Cathedral, Kotangora, the Catholic Bishop of Kotangora Diocese, Most Reverend Bulus Dawa Yohana, prayed for the safe return of the pupils, students, and teachers who were abducted over a week ago. President Bola Tinubu has restated that restoring peace, strengthening national security, and improving economic opportunities remain the central priorities of his administration. The president's message was delivered in Lokoja on Sunday at the memorial of former Kogi State Governor Prince Abubakar Audu. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in a statement signed by his media aide, Rabiu Ibrahim, told the attendees that the federal government under Tinubu is fully committed to confronting threats to national stability. He also said Nigeria is under no illusions about the recent setbacks and security challenges that have tested our nation's resolve. The Kogi State government has confirmed the early Sunday morning attack on a Cherubim and Seraphim church in Ejiba, Yaba West local government area of the state. The State Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, made the confirmation in a statement on Sunday in Lokoja, where he strongly condemned the incident. Reports say that the gunmen launched the attack, allegedly abducted the pastor, his wife, and some other worshippers. The attack threw the Ejiba community into panic, with residents reportedly fleeing in search of safety. Fanwo, who described the incident as very sad and unfortunate, assured all that efforts were underway to rescue all victims. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has called on the federal government and its relevant agencies to beef up security around schools nationwide to prevent killings, kidnappings, and other vices. Professor Soyinka called on governments at all levels to adopt policies that strengthen security awareness across the country, particularly within the Education Board. He said the call became imperative in view of the rising wave of insecurity, especially attacks and kidnapping of school pupils across the country. Soyinka made the call in a remark where he visited his alma mater, Government College, Ibadan, at the weekend. He said the recent developments demanded a fundamental change in how security is perceived and taught in society. Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on Foreign Affairs and Protocol, Ademola Oshodi, has defended the president's latest ambassadorial nominations, insisting that the selections reflect the president's judgment of what is best for his administration and for the country. Speaking during an interview on Channel's television's program, Morning Brief, on Monday, Oshodi said political appointments to diplomatic positions were a global practice. He noted that presidents and prime ministers worldwide routinely nominate trusted allies or individuals with long-standing relationships. Oshodi stressed that Nigerians must respect the president's prerogative, adding that those questioning the quality of the nominees misunderstand the electoral mandate. The presidential aide maintained that his principle alone carries the mandate to decide what is best for the country's governance. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, on trial facing corruption charges, has announced on Sunday that he had submitted a pardon request, saying the long-running cases were tearing the country apart. US President Donald Trump wrote to Israeli President Isaac Herzog earlier this month, asking him to pardon Netanyahu, who has repeatedly denied wrongdoing in the ongoing court cases. Netanyahu said in a video statement that the trial in his case has been ongoing for nearly 6 years and is expected to continue for many more years. He said he wanted to see through the process until acquittal, but the security and political reality, the national interest, dictates otherwise. The cases against Netanyahu have exposed divisions in Israeli society between his supporters and opponents. Netanyahu's backers have dismissed the trials as politically motivated. Here to end the news, here are the main points again. Christian worshippers from within the Kotangora Diocese on Sunday called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to act fast for the safe return of the abducted children and teachers of St. Mary's Private Catholic School in Papiri, Agwara local government area of Niger State, who are still held in captivity. Some of the worshippers, a retired teacher, Madam Cecilia Audi, Tina Okeke, a provincial Catholic women president, and Mrs. Elizabeth Oti, spoke with the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Niger State Chapter's media aide, Daniel Atori, after the Sunday Mass. The Kogi State government has confirmed the early Sunday morning attack on a Cherubim and Seraphim church in Ejiba, Yaba West local government area of the state. The state's Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, made the confirmation in a statement on Sunday in Lokoja, where he strongly condemned the incident. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, on trial facing corruption charges, has announced on Sunday that he had submitted a pardon request, saying the long-running cases were tearing the country apart. US President Donald Trump wrote to Israeli President Isaac Herzog earlier this month, asking him to pardon Netanyahu, who has repeatedly denied wrongdoing in the ongoing court cases. That is the news for today. This news broadcast comes to you from Capacity Media Trust Radio, Mina. That will be all for the news at this hour. Thank you for staying tuned with us. I'm Precious Amos. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.